Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch Atmanirbhar Uttar Pradesh Rozgar Abhiyan via video conference shortly. State to provide employment to migrant labourers after skill mapping. India slams China for violating peace agreements and deploying large number of troops along LAC in Ladakh, says military and diplomatic contacts are continuing. Lightning strikes killed 83 in Bihar, 24 in Uttar Pradesh in a single day. President, Vice President and Prime Minister condole the loss of lives. Chief Ministers express condolences to the deceased families. Ex gratia of 4 lakh rupees for next of kin of those who died announced. Indian Railways cancels all regular train services which are not operational at present till the 12th of August. Those who have booked tickets for the services between 1st of July to August 12th will get full refund. All 230 special trains will continue as scheduled. Serological survey to determine spread of coronavirus in Delhi will begin from tomorrow, covering 20,000 people. Survey helps in comprehensive assessment of the spread of the infection in the capital and will help draw up a comprehensive strategy. India's recovery rate improves to over 58.24% with 2,85,000 recoveries. Active cases cross 1,89,000 with 15,301 fatalities. Global corona cases rise to over 95,86,000 with over 4,88,000 deaths world over. Liverpool become earliest champion of English Premier League with 7 games remaining as Chelsea beat second place Manchester City. Australia and New Zealand to host 2023 Women's Football World Cup. FIFA Governing Council approves $1 billion in investment in women's soccer over the next 4 years. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma with you once again. In our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch Atmanirbhar Uttar Pradesh Rozgar Abhiyan today to provide employment to migrant labourers after skill mapping. The aim is to provide employment to each and every migrant worker who lost his or her job during the COVID-19 pandemic. The PM had also launched Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan last week.
Coming as a boon for the migrant workers, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to launch Atmanirbhar Uttar Pradesh Rozgar Abhiyan on Friday 26th June. The Atmanirbhar Uttar Pradesh Rozgar Abhiyan will be launched via video conferencing in the presence of the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Various ministers of UP government will also participate in the virtual launch. Prime Minister will also interact with villagers from 6 districts of Uttar Pradesh. Villagers across all districts of Uttar Pradesh will join this program through the common service centers and Krishi Vigyan Kendras, maintaining the norms of social distancing in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Nearly 30 lakh migrant workers in Uttar Pradesh have returned home because of the pandemic, and over 31 districts have been returned of almost 25,000 migrant workers. Out of these, 5 districts are aspirational districts. Through this package, the government of Uttar Pradesh has envisaged a unique initiative which dovetails programs of Government of India and the state government while creating partnerships with industry and other organizations. This Abhiyan is focused towards providing employment, promote local entrepreneurship and create partnership with industrial associations and other organizations to provide employment opportunities. News Night Desk, DD India.
And Ashutosh joins us with more from Gonda. Ashutosh, what information can you give us on the Prime Minister's program today? He is to reach out to returning migrant labourers across Uttar Pradesh as he launches the mega Atmanirbhar Uttar Pradesh Rozgar Abhiyan.
बिल्कुल रुकमा, जिस तरीके से आप मेरे पीछे देख रही हैं, ये गोंडा का कमालपुर गांव है। इस गांव में आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से तैयारियां की गई हैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर से इंटरेक्ट करने के लिए। सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप की जो अध्यक्ष है इस वक्त यहाँ पर जो है बैठी हुई हैं। 11 बजे ठीक जो कार्यक्रम शुरू होगा, प्रधानमंत्री जो है इंटरेक्ट करेंगे इनके साथ। रुकमा, मैं बता दूं कि सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप यहाँ का जो है वो सिलाई कढ़ाई का काम करता था, लेकिन कोविड-19 के चलते उनका सिलाई कढ़ाई का काम बंद हुआ। वानिकी के क्षेत्र में ये हेल्प ग्रुप आया और वानिकी के माध्यम से इन्होंने निर्भर होने की जो एक पटकथा लिखी, वह पटकथा आज कहीं न कहीं पूरे कार्यक्रम के पीछे, चाहे वो मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ की सोच के पीछे, वो कहीं न कहीं एक कारक बना। और किस तरह से उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर चाहे प्रवासी मजदूर हों और चाहे यहाँ के स्थानीय मजदूर हों जो यहाँ पर मजदूरी करते थे, उनको किस तरह से आत्मनिर्भर बनाया जाए, इसको लेकर के वह सोच आज फलीभूत होने जा रही है। ठीक 11 बजे जब कार्यक्रम शुरू होगा प्रधानमंत्री का, तो निश्चित रूप से योगी आदित्यनाथ ने पिछले 2.5 महीनों के अंदर, जब से कोरोना का ये बीमारी चली है, उसके बाद से लेकर के किस तरह से श्रमिकों को बाहर से लेकर के प्रदेश में उनके गांव तक पहुंचाया जाए, गांव में पहुंचाने के बाद उनके खाने का बंदोबस्त हो या फिर उनके रोजगार का बंदोबस्त, एक बड़ी सोच के साथ जो एक कार्यक्रम शुरू हुआ था। लगभग 1.25 करोड़ रोजगार के सृजन का आज जो है लक्ष्य रखा गया है। और इसके साथ ही जो प्रधानमंत्री और केंद्र सरकार की ओर से आर्थिक पैकेज की घोषणा की गई थी लघु और सूक्ष्म मझोले उद्योगों को लेकर के, जिनको अधिक कर्ज दे करके के उनके उद्योगों को बढ़ावा दे करके, साथ में श्रमिकों को रोजगार देने के लिए, एक अवसर पैदा करने के लिए, कहीं न कहीं प्रोत्साहित करने का भी आज कार्यक्रम है। उसको लेकर के भी घोषणा की जा सकती है। तमाम सारी इंडस्ट्रीज को, छोटे और लघु मध्यम उद्योगों को अधिक कर्ज दिए जा सकते हैं, जिससे कि उनके रोजगार का अधिक सृजन हो सके। और यह सारा रोजगार केंद्र में रख करके कहीं न कहीं वो श्रमिक हैं, ग्रामीण तबका है, जिनको रोजगार की सख्त जरूरत है, और उस तबके को रख करके ग्रामीण अंचलों के विकास को ध्यान में रखते हुए, चाहे वो मनरेगा की योजना हो, चाहे जो विभिन्न योजनाएं हैं, लगभग 2 दर्जन से अधिक योजनाओं को जो है चिन्हित किया गया है, जिनके अंतर्गत इनको जो है रोजगार दिया जाएगा। रुकमा।
Right, Ashutosh, a very important aspect of this Abhiyan is skill mapping. How has this been undertaken in Uttar Pradesh, in these aspirational districts, in Gonda, for example? Have women and men both been skill mapped as they returned because of the data? And what are the agencies that have been involved in this?
बिल्कुल रुकमा, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की सोच कहीं न कहीं इस बात को लेकर के थी कि जो कामगार बाहर से अंदर आ रहे हैं, उनमें जो श्रमिक जो है कुशल हैं या अकुशल हैं, इनकी जो है स्किल मैपिंग की सबसे पहले बात की गई थी। और वह स्किल मैपिंग, प्रदेश सरकार का दावा है कि 36 लाख मजदूरों की स्किल मैपिंग की गई है, उनका एक डेटाबेस तैयार किया गया है। और इसके साथ ही उत्तर प्रदेश के भीतर जो उद्योग हैं, उन उद्योगों को किस तरह के श्रमिकों की जरूरत है, दोनों को जो है उनसे भी इस बात की जानकारी मांगी जा रही है कि उनको किस तरह के श्रमिक चाहिए, कुशल श्रमिक अगर चाहिए तो किस कैटेगरी के चाहिए, किस जरूरत के चाहिए, उनको भी, उस डेटा को भी इकट्ठा किया जा रहा है। और प्रदेश सरकार की पहल यहीं तक सीमित नहीं है। उन प्रदेश सरकार का कहना साफ तौर पर है कि जो उद्योग जिस तरह के श्रमिकों की डिमांड करते हैं, उस तरह से हमारे पास एक डाटा होना चाहिए, जिस डाटा से उन श्रमिकों को प्रेरित किया जा सके, वहां पर उनको रोजगार दिलाया जा सके। तो स्किल मैपिंग की एक बड़ी योजना है। 36 लाख मजदूरों का, श्रमिकों की स्किल मैपिंग की जा चुकी है, उनका डेटाबेस जो है तैयार किया जा रहा है। और प्रदेश सरकार की यह कोशिश है कि जो अकुशल मजदूर हैं उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर, तमाम सारी ऐसी परियोजनाएं चल रही हैं, चाहे उसमें पूर्वांचल एक्सप्रेस वे हो या बुंदेलखंड एक्सप्रेस वे हो या इसके अतिरिक्त जो है मनरेगा की योजना हो, कई सारी ऐसी स्कीमें चल रही हैं जहां पर अकुशल मजदूरों को जो है उनको भी यहां पर रोजगार के अवसर दिए जा सकेंगे। साथ में महिलाओं के विकास के लिए, जहां पर मैं खड़ा हूं, ये वास्तव में उत्तर प्रदेश में जो है आत्मनिर्भर होने की एक नजीर है। हम अपने कैमरामैन से कहेंगे कि उस वानिकी को भी आपको दिखाएं कि जहां पर जिस तरह से महिलाओं ने अपनी कड़ी मेहनत से इन पिछले 3 वर्षों में यहां पर जो है इन वृक्षों को रोपित किया और उनको इस तरह से लेकर के आए हैं। वानिकी विभाग जो है लगभग 30 लाख रुपए की लागत से इस एक अकेले सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप से इसकी खरीदारी कर चुका है। पूरे प्रदेश के अंदर जो है इस तरह की इस योजना को बढ़ाने के लिए और खास तौर पर महिलाओं से जुड़ी हुई जो योजनाएं हैं, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप हैं, उनको जो है बढ़ावा देने के लिए, उनको आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए पूरी तरह से प्रशासन मुस्तैद है। रुकमा, मैं बता दूं, यहाँ पर प्रशासन के वरिष्ठ अधिकारी भी मौजूद हैं जो लगातार इस बात पर निगाह बनाए हैं कि किस तरह से प्रदेश सरकार की योजनाओं को, प्रदेश सरकार की मंशा को जमीन पर उतारा जा सके। रुकमा।
Right, Ashutosh, clearly all preparations in place as We all wait for the Prime Minister to launch the Atmanirbhar Uttar Pradesh Rozgar Abhiyan in a short while from now. Thank you so much for joining us there. Moving on now, India has slammed China for violating peace agreements and deploying large number of troops along the line of actual control in Ladakh. In a briefing, the External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastav reiterated that it has been the Chinese actions thus far that have led to increased tension in the region and also to the violent face-off that occurred on the 15th of June, resulting in casualties. The MEA spokesperson also said that after the deadly clash of June 15th, both sides remain deployed in large numbers in the region, while military and diplomatic contacts continue.
The Indian side has never undertaken any actions across the LAC and has never attempted to unilaterally change the status quo. However, that has not been reciprocated by the Chinese side, and that from time to time has led to face-offs. The conduct of Chinese forces this year has been in complete disregard of all mutually agreed norms. The deployment of large body of troops and changes in behavior has also been aggravated by unjustified and untenable claims. The recent shift in the Chinese position on the Galwan Valley is one example. The maintenance of peace and tranquility in the border areas is the basis of our bilateral relationship. It is imperative that the established mechanisms are used by both parties to address the current situation.
Post the recent development that the Embassy of China is one of the donors of the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, BJP President JP Nadda launched a scathing attack on the Congress. He took to Twitter targeting the Congress's dynastic policy and greed. He also attached documents of the donor list of the foundation from 2005 to 6 as well as 2007 to 8, where money has been donated to the foundation through the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund. In a series of tweets, he said, I quote, "One family's hunger for wealth has cost the nation immensely. If only they had devoted their energies towards a more constructive agenda. The Congress's imperial dynasty needs to apologize to the unchecked loot for self-gains. People of India donated their hard-earned money to PM-NRF to help their fellow citizens in need. To divert this public money into a family-run foundation is not only a brazen fraud, but also a big betrayal of the people of India. PM-NRF, meant to help people in distress, was donating money to Rajiv Gandhi Foundation in UPA years. Who sat on the PM-NRF board? Srimati Sonia Gandhi, who chairs RGF. Srimati Sonia Gandhi, totally reprehensible, disregarding ethics, processes, and not bothering about transparency." In other news, lightning and thunderstorms were witnessed in various parts of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh yesterday. In Bihar, 83 people lost their lives, with Gopalganj district reporting the highest number of deaths. State Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has announced a 4 lakh rupees ex gratia each for the families of those killed. Nitish Kumar also appealed to people of the state to remain alert and stay indoors as far as possible during bad weather conditions. He also asked them to follow advisories issued by the Disaster Management Department in this regard. IMD has issued warning of isolated extremely heavy rain in Bihar till June 27th. In Uttar Pradesh, meanwhile, 24 people were killed, with the most number of deaths reported from Deoria district. State Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also announced ex gratia of 4 lakh rupees each for the next of kin. He has also directed officials to provide best healthcare facilities to those injured. The IMD has issued warning of isolated heavy to very heavy rains, very likely over eastern Uttar Pradesh till June 29th. Lightning has also caused widespread damage to homes, belongings of residents and livestock in both the states. President Ramnath Kovind has expressed grief over the loss of lives due to heavy rains and lightning strikes in parts of Bihar and UP. In a tweet, the president said, I quote, "Saddened to hear about the loss of lives in parts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar due to heavy rains and lightning. The administration is carrying out rescue and relief work. My condolences to the affected families." Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has also expressed grief over the loss of lives due to the incident. In a tweet, he said, "Deeply saddened by the loss of lives due to lightning and heavy rains in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh in the last few days. My condolences to the bereaved families." PM Modi too has expressed grief over the loss of lives due to heavy rains and inclement weather. Lightning in parts of Bihar and UP. In a tweet, the PM said, "I have received tragic news about the death of many people due to heavy rain and lightning strikes in some districts of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. The state governments are engaged in relief work. I express condolences to the families who lost their loved ones in this disaster." And on to some other news now. The Indian Railways has cancelled all regular trains till the 12th of August. In a notification issued yesterday, it said those cancelled include regular timetabled passenger services, including suburban services. All special Rajdhani, Mail and Express trains, however, will continue to operate. The railways have clearly said that they have only enabled full refund for trains which are not being operated and for which tickets have been booked prior to the lockdown and up to April 14th. It has stressed that no trains which are presently operational have been cancelled. Also, all 230 special trains will continue to run. As far as the running of more trains is concerned, the Railways is currently monitoring their occupancy position and all will be informed and bookings will be undertaken as and when the decision is taken about them. There is no blanket order ruling out running of more trains till 12th August. And a central team led by Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Joint Secretary Love Agarwal will visit Gujarat, Maharashtra and Telangana beginning today till the 29th of June. The team will interact with state officials and coordinate with them to strengthen ongoing efforts for management of COVID-19. In a significant ramping of testing facilities across the country, India now has 1,007 diagnostic labs. This includes 734 in the government sector and 273 private labs. From limited COVID-19 tests in January 2020, 207,871 tests were conducted in the last 24 hours, taking the cumulative tests to more than 75 lakhs. At 75 lakhs, 60,782. So far, a total of 2,85,636 patients have been cured of COVID-19. The recovery rate is 58.24%. Presently, there are 1,89,463 active cases. All are under active medical supervision. Cases per lakh in India currently stand at 33.39 against the world's 120.21 cases per lakh. Also, deaths per lakh in the country is currently amongst the lowest in the world, with 1.06 deaths per lakh against the world average of 6.24 deaths per lakh. And with that, we wind up this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Namaskar.